What is up, everybody? It is time for our Double Chin show.
Favorite time of the week.
So what we've done was we kind of included our spoiler alert segments onto this channel as well. So on this channel, you're gonna see us, the Double Chins, all the time.
So we're gonna do like 3 different segments, right? Of course, the bread and butter is the Double Chin show, where me and Mike talk about topics, advice, and rapid fire segment. Definitely keep sending us these great suggestions. We actually use them quite often.
Yep.
And what's the second one?
In second one, we're gonna be doing social topics that we find interesting online.
This could be this could be an article, this could be a movie we saw. Basically, something that provokes thought.
Right.
Yeah. And then the third one, we're gonna, like Mike said, we're gonna combine our spoiler alert, where we talk about movies, TV shows, basically entertainment, because me and Mike watch a lot, like you do as well. Yeah. So yeah, and then we're gonna do that for now, and hopefully you guys keep watching and sharing and getting your friends.
Support us so we can do this full time one day. This episode, we're gonna be talking about a topic that is probably a lot of you have experienced.
Have or have not?
Have, or maybe have not.
Okay.
How to tell if you are in love. Oh, that's a big one.
Can you guys tell that Mike picked this topic?
Listen.
How to tell you're in love. Why don't you start us off, Mike?
Okay, the reason that I picked this topic is because, I figured some of you out there might be like me, and you might be in situations where you're like, huh, am I really in love with this person? Is this like an infatuation?
Right.
Is this like just a puppy love
crush
kind of thing?
Crush.
Like, what is it? Should I be really devoting so much of my feelings or energy towards something like this?
Yeah.
That's where we started to discuss, and I figured that this could be an interesting topic for all of you. Okay. So my thought on this is how to tell when you're in love. And I had a revelation one day.
Please tell our viewers and listeners.
And I've been in love a few times in my life. Very few, actually. Very few. Probably like a couple times.
You can count it on one hand.
Oh, absolutely. You can count it on less than 3 fingers. 2 times. I've been in love 2 times my whole life.
Okay.
And I think each time, because as the years go by after you were in love, you forget.
Okay.
You forget what it felt like to be in love.
Oh, okay.
And then you're kind of so what was that feeling like? So when you meet somebody, you're like, am I in love, or do I even remember what love felt like? Because the reason why you're not in love anymore, because it hurt, right? So there was a breakup, and obviously you were hurt by that. And sometimes you kind of mix that hurt feeling along with the whole love feeling. So you're kind of confused about what love really is. My revelation is this. I think the fundamental for me anyway, and people could be different, the fundamental key identifying factor for me is when I meet someone that I'm willing to share everything I have with. Not just share everything I have, like my life. Like whatever I have, I'm willing to share with you not because here, I want to give you all my stuff so you'll love me. But it's because there's
you mean like everything,
not just material stuff, but everything, like
share a part of you with them,
completely open.
Yes.
There's no barrier. You don't want there to be any barrier.
You don't want to hide anything.
Nothing.
You don't want any skeletons in the closet.
Nothing. Basically, and I came up with this saying.
Okay.
The saying.
Okay.
The saying is, I want to be with someone I love who, even when they find out the darkest side of me, what that is, they will still love me for who I am.
You didn't make that up. I saw that on a fortune cookie, bro.
Yeah, I made that up.
No, you didn't.
The fortune cookie stole my saying.
No, it's like in every movie, dude.
All right, whatever.
You can't take credit for that. Oh my God.
Copyright. 2002.
Dude, there's 18 movies where they have that whatever you just said. Anything else? So one is you want to share everything. The worst, basically. You want to share the worst and the best and the worst parts.
I'm also talking about the material stuff as well.
Of course.
Because
that should be a given.
Yeah, it's not like hey, I want to buy her, but it's all about this. Whatever you treasure, whatever you treasure. For example, I love parts of New York City where I think is the most awesome, has the most awesome view,
Okay.
or a restaurant that I feel like has the best food.
Okay.
And I love like places like the Grand Canyon and like whatever. These are places I find to be like, they're the most beautiful places I've ever been to in my life. And I love them.
Right.
And when I meet someone, all I want to do is like, I want to share like everything I have with you. Let's say like my favorite cupcake. There's one left. You can have that. Okay. But I also want to share the most like intimate locations
Right.
where I feel the most happy,
Right.
where I feel like they would really enjoy too. I want to share all those with that
Okay,
person.
that's fair enough. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense, right? You enjoy these things. You want to share the passion and the love you have for life.
A simple test is, of course, hey, there's a girl you think you like, and you have one last piece of let's say one last cupcake that you love.
Right.
All right. And she's like, hey, here's a cupcake. What would you do? Would you, one, split it in half and give her half? Would you, two, say, leave my cupcake alone, sneeze on it, so claim it as your property? Or three, like, just please have it because I want to share that with you.
Okay.
And I think you'll really love that. And so that's just like a metaphor.
I think that's just being a
It's
gentleman.
a metaphor.
That's just being a gentleman.
Okay, look, sometimes you really love the cupcake.
Right.
Just
That's
saying.
true. I love cupcakes. So do you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a little different take on that.
Okay, what's yours?
You know, like you, I've been in love, like truly in love, twice in my life.
Okay, same as me.
Including my current
Right now,
relationship. Yeah.
sure.
And this time around is very different from the first time.
Yeah.
All right. And so I was in a very long-term relationship before, and I was in love. It's
Yeah.
my first love. And I think as I grow older and more mature, you know, it takes on a different meaning. I think that, and it's no fault of the other person, but it's just you go through things, right? And you look back and you go, oh, okay, I could have done things differently. So now for me is, in love means you obviously like share stuff with them and all that, but I think if you're willing to really change yourself for the other person, and I don't mean like, oh, they want you to be, you know, like a rocket scientist, and
Okay.
you're like, oh, I'm gonna be a rocket scientist for you.
Okay.
No, I mean like bad habits that you have.
I
you know?
agree.
Because in a relationship,
Yep.
when you're with somebody for a long time, you know the bad stuff about them
Okay.
and the good stuff.
Sure.
And they're gonna be like, gonna criticize you about it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people are unwilling to change.
Sure.
Or they do it, but then they don't stick with it. I mean, genuinely, from the bottom of your heart, you want to change to make the other person
I
happy.
100% agree.
That's one. And the other one is sacrifice.
Okay.
I think your love isn't tested until you actually have to sacrifice stuff. Part of sacrifice has to do with changing yourself, right?
Sure.
You might like being a fat slob. Luckily, neither of us are. But if you do, you are continue to be a fat slob, or you change that. That's sacrifice. That can also be meaning, like, for example, you know, she really loves to do something and you don't really like to do it. You find a way, you know, you
Yeah.
find joy in that.
Sure.
You know, I mean, that's very minor, but I think those two things now added to my idea of what love is.
Can I add something to that?
Okay.
And this goes back to what you said about change.
Okay.
I think like when I was in love,
Mm-hmm.
I noticed this one important thing about the change in my mentality.
You're saying love the first times or the latest time, or?
I think each time I've been in love,
Okay.
especially this time. I think
Okay.
this time more than any other time, I felt this
Right.
really strongly. I wanted to be a better person
okay.
for this individual.
That's good, because I think before, a lot of times it's not, obviously it's a different form of love. It's not just infatuation.
Right.
Sometimes you're like, you know what, this is me.
Right.
You know,
Like it or not.
like
Take
it or
or
not.
leave it.
And you know, here's the thing. I love my friends.
Yes.
But they're not the best influence on. I have a lot of friends who are like, why change yourself?
Right.
Have her adapt to you.
Right.
They literally say this to me, and I go, you know what? I want to change myself. Like, why don't you want to be a better person? I mean, of course, they're saying she wants you to do something unreasonable, but you know what? Is it that unreasonable? This is the one person where, unlike any other relationship, your wife, think about this relationship, right? This is the closest person you will have to you for your entire life. People don't realize that. All right? When things go bad, she's there. When things go good, she's there. Your friends can actually come and go, believe it or not. Sometimes you're closer with them, sometimes you're less closer. Family, a lot of times, you don't even see your family, honestly, a lot of times once you get older, right? They're there. You have to visit them. They're on an obligation. Your wife is literally the one other person where you need to
agree.
deal with. You need to be there with them.
This is why I always said I wanted to marry my best friend.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Obviously, the way we go about. Okay, so anyways, I think that it's better to date them, and then hopefully they develop into your best friend. You feel that you want to be their best friend, but then that puts you in the friend zone.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't do that. Our tactics, our goal is the same. Yeah. Our tactics are different.
Right.
Maybe you need to switch up your tactic.
I can't. This is how I am. I really just want to be friends first, and then see if we have a really good connection as friends.
But why not just
develop into something more?
Why not start a relationship and see if you can be friends?
Because I don't know, like that's a lot of time commitment.
Yeah, nobody knows.
But when you're friends with someone who you've been really close to, and then you grow to be like, one day you're like, I really just want to spend all my time with you. Then you just you get there.
You want Sally. You want to when Harry met Sally.
Exactly.
Friendship. That is really hard to do, bro.
But that's what, look, I can't, it's hard for me to just be like, hey, you want to go out because I find you attractive. And that's the most initial thing about you. I like the fact that I got to know you.
Yep.
Then I found you attractive.
Yep.
I got to know you, and then I found that I can't live without you because, like, I love everything about you.
You know what you are? You're a hopeless romantic. That's the definition of a hopeless romantic.
Isn't that obvious? We knew,
yeah,
knew this from day one.
Well, I didn't know. I mean, I didn't really put a label on it, but that's what you are. You
Yeah,
are
I am.
so that. It's not
I
even
am.
funny. You're a hopeless romantic. You're like, oh, like, the
Yeah.
world is great. I mean, the love, I'd rather have pain than. Let me ask you a question. This is a very good question. I was going to save this for our rapid fire, but I'm going to ask you to right now.
Okay.
Is it better to have loved,
I asked you this last time.
you asked me that last time?
You freaking copier? Like, you can't think of an original question? I'm gonna ask you a question. It's a great question. I asked you that last time.
Well, I know. Well, what did you say? Because I said yes, it's better to have loved, and you said that too.
Of course, it's better to have loved than lost.
Yeah. And I think that the definition of love is different every single year. Every relationship you get into, every decade you're alive, it's gonna evolve. So in a nutshell, Mike says if he's willing to share his last cupcake give you his last cupcake.
Give, and also want to be a better person.
Right. Mine is, it's like if she's like, stop eating cupcakes because you're gonna get fat, and you're willing to give up cupcakes altogether.
All right, Team Mike, hashtag, or Team Dan, hashtag. Let us know who or which side you're on. All right, guys, on to our advice segment. This episode, we're going to be talking about peer pressure.
Yep. So peer pressure, it's a great topic, right? Of course, because we like to talk about it, so it's a great topic. Growing up, I faced a lot of peer pressure. Why? Because a lot of my friends were not Asian. Therefore, they had the liberties of doing drugs. Their parents didn't really keep tabs on them that much, or they were really good at keeping things from their parents. They drank, they did drugs. They, were focused on going out with women and obtaining women and being promiscuous. And if I wasn't drinking, I wasn't cool. Yeah. If I wasn't smoking, I wasn't cool. Yeah. And it's not like, a lot of Asian kids around, Asian friends like, hey, you weren't doing well in school. That's not cool. No, that would have helped me. But, so I had to deal with a lot of that, and it was really hard. It kind of goes back to on a previous episode or on another episode we did about identity crisis.
Yep.
People have an innate need to want to fit in.
Yep.
And part of that is doing what your friends are doing. So that was really tough for me. A lot of things they did I really wanted to be a part of, like playing sports. I love that. Doing Boy Scouts, having a community. Yeah. But a lot of the stuff they were doing, I didn't really care for that much. Right. Smoking, drinking. Yeah. But I did them, and sometimes I didn't enjoy it, and sometimes I did it against my will, and sometimes I wanted to join in. I wanted to be fun. I wanted to enjoy it. Yeah. And it's really hard. I think that no matter what, like people will say, be yourself, be yourself, don't do what you don't want to do. I'm telling you right now, that's really hard to do.
It's hard.
When you're in that environment, you're not going to recall and be like, I just won't do it. No, that is nearly impossible to do. So I would just say, like, my advice was dealing with pressure is that if you really aren't that comfortable with it, you got to know at some point, like, if you tell your friends you don't want to do it, like, and they keep pressuring you, like, and you can't deal with it, then you should really like say something about it. Because if they were really good friends of yours, they would say that it's uncomfortable. Like, I don't drink anymore, and my friends all drink, and they don't pressure me anymore. Because I told them, look, it's uncomfortable when I don't care if you drink, but don't make me drink with you.
Yeah, I think for me, you said it's really difficult and nearly impossible. It's nearly impossible, but it's not impossible. I think I'm one of the exceptions who basically fought against peer pressure my whole life. Like, for example, my friends smoked. My friends drink.
Yeah.
They pressure me to do both, and I've said no.
Yeah.
And
which is pretty remarkable.
And I never touched a single drug or cigarette or anything.
Never had a drop of alcohol.
Right. And the amazing thing is, I was in a fraternity.
Yeah.
I was in a fraternity in college, and they were like, hey, why don't you drink? And look, here's the thing about peer pressure is this. A lot of people feel like you have to fit into a group. I'm telling you right now, you don't. You don't have to fit into a group, because I kind of saw this more with the internet.
Okay.
These few years, like our channel and such, and every channel that we've been on, is this: we'll always find an audience that identify with us.
Yep.
Like, the internet is so big, like, it's people. There are people everywhere that identify with others and such, and especially in this day and age, you can always find somebody who is interested in the same things you are.
Yep, definitely.
Who have the same values that you do.
Definitely.
It's not even like when we were growing up, there was basically no internet.
There's no internet. You really had to hang out with the people in your vicinity.
Not saying that you can't have real friends. You should. But the point I'm trying to make is that the internet is correct in teaching me, anyway, that whoever you're trying to identify yourself as, there are others that you can find around you who have maybe the same viewpoints or the same values. And when I was in a fraternity, and throughout my life, actually, I've gone against the grain in every single group I was at if I felt that was crossing the line for me.
Right.
And crossing the line meant, at that point, sometimes drugs, cigarettes, alcohol, whatever.
Right.
If I felt uncomfortable with it, I wouldn't do it. And if I felt any pressure like that, like there's different types of pressure.
Right.
Sometimes the friends were like, come on, just do it. It's fine.
The-
but when it gets to the point where like, oh, if you don't do it, you're not cool, you don't get to hang out with us, you know what? Forget you.
Right. There's a difference when I'm like, Mike, I bet you can't eat that fourth bowl of noodles.
And I did.
And he did. Or like you said, and I want to agree with that, because I have to commend you on not succumbing to the peer pressure. I succumbed. But then, I realized, and then I went through this arc where I succumbed, but then I was like, you know what? I'm going to stand up to it. And at that moment, I was like, oh man, I might lose all my friends. And I stood up to it, and I didn't lose all my friends.
Because they wouldn't be your friends.
Right. So then I'm like, wait a minute. Why didn't I just do what you did in the first place? Because in your frat, you were a cool guy.
Yeah, I was going through pledge season without drinking.
I mean, like when you say that to me, I'm like, there's no way you would have made the frat. But you did.
Yeah, because those guys knew. I said, look, I don't drink. That's the thing. It's for personal reasons, and I don't drink. And everyone respected me for it. No one was like, hey, you got it otherwise. You know what? If that happened, see ya.
Exactly. Those guys are boneheads, right? I mean, for the longest time, I didn't drink for the longest time. And my friends, they would pressure me, but they would accept me, and I would say, like you said, like, if they're your real friends, they definitely won't right.
And we see this a lot in movies, right? Like the uncool girl all of a sudden gets invited to the cool group, and all of a sudden he or she has to be like pressured to do certain things, and then finally at the end realize that they're not really my friends.
Right.
We see this every day, but people go through this all the time.
Definitely.
And also there's a different form of pressure. Like, for example, pressure in relationships.
Right.
Like, let's say you're like, you're young, and then let's say your boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever, they're like, hey, you need to go all the way with me.
Right.
Or we're gonna break up.
Right. That's a major peer pressure thing back in the day.
That's huge. That's probably even today. Like back in the day, that was major for us.
Yeah, major.
And I don't see that going away anytime soon.
And I would say if somebody's faced with that, I would say that I stand firm on. Like, if you're not comfortable doing, what you doing stuff, don't do it. You cannot like succumb to that, because you can really, like, you're gonna start to feel really bad.
Right.
You know?
And like guys, like, peer pressure in a negative form, like I said, there's different types of pressure.
Right.
Dan to me, oh, you eat that noodle, fine, I'll eat that noodle, whatever, no big deal. It's a joke, it's fine. If I don't eat it, he's not gonna say, oh, we're not friends anymore. If you feel any negative pressure, you should get out of there. You should get out of that relationship. You should get out of that friendship if there's negative peer pressure. Because I'm telling you right now, people who really care about you, they're not gonna forcibly pressure you in any way.
Definitely. I mean, like when I was going to college, there are definitely times when you're at a party and I mean, it's really hard to deal with, right? If you don't want to drink, every second you're offered a drink, and you're gonna have boneheads that are like, "Yo, what are you like? Like you're not gonna have a drink? Come on!" Like, you know what? Those people aren't actually. Those are usually not my close friends. Those are just some bonehead at a party.
Right.
Definitely don't let those boneheads get to you. You know. And I have no respect for people like that. I never, ever pressure people to do something they don't want to do. In fact, I respected them when they're like, you know what? I don't want to do that. And you stood your ground. And I think also more today, in this day and age, people are a lot more tolerant of people's individual choices.
Right.
Way more than 10, even 5 years ago, you know, like with the advance of the internet and different viewpoints and everything like that. So I would say, you know, definitely like hold your ground. You know, it's not the end of the world.
You know what negative peer pressure really is? It's bullying.
It's bullying. Absolutely. I totally
agree. That's what it is.
Right.
Whether you're in a relationship with someone who is pressuring you to do something you're not ready for, whether it's in a group, dude, that's bullying right there. Your friends were significant other. They're part of their responsibility, job requirement, as you would say, is making you feel comfortable around.
Look out for you too.
Would you want to go out with friends that you didn't feel comfortable with? Like, you know.
And also, if you're in an environment where there's a lot of people that aren't that close to you and they're pressuring you, leave. Like, you know what I realized at a certain point? I'm like, you know what? I don't need to go to these parties a lot. And I didn't. And me and my friends, we did other stuff. You know, go out to eat, and hang out.
Yeah, being a fraternity, I'll tell you guys this right now. I didn't do anything you would expect a frat guy to do. I didn't do any of it.
Which is amazing. Did you haze other people?
No, I didn't. Look, I didn't do
amazing.
anything. Like, I didn't do anything like I felt was negative or I felt like I was hurting anybody else. I just didn't do any of it. I don't even know why I joined.
I think you're an anomaly and a good one for people to look up to. Because when you tell me that, I'm like, dude, there's no way. Like, I went through college, you know, I did stuff, and you know, like that's amazing. Like, you're living proof that it can be done. It can be done. And you turned out great.
Here's a principle where I live by. You know, if people I feel affect me negatively, I don't really need to be around those people.
Definitely.
It is time for our rapid fire segment. Are you ready? All right, my question for you is, if you had to spend the rest of your life living in one of these two environments, which one would you choose? One is the desert. Two is the jungle. Go.
The jungle.
Really?
Yep. Because the desert, there's nothing. There's nothing. Jungle, yeah, you're gonna deal with, like, you know, your all these animals that are trying to eat you and kill you, swamps, but there's trees, all right? There's rain, there's water. You can build a tree house. There's a lot more going on. You know, I'd rather be spending my life, you know, as Tarzan fighting gorillas rather than just literally in a desert.
All right, I would choose the desert.
Why?
Okay, here's the thing. I love like the Grand Canyon and all those places, and they're around the desert. And you can always find nice little waterfalls. There's animals there. It's just
dude, that's not a
beautiful.
desert. That's not desert, dude. That's like a canyon, bro.
Yeah, but that's like around the desert.
No. When you say desert, I think of the Sahara. Like, desert.
Okay, you wouldn't want to live in the Sahara?
No.
That's beautiful. Man.
No, the canyons?
Yeah, sand dunes.
No.
It's like automatic
there's
laundry.
Nothing.
Here's what I have against the jungle.
Okay.
Mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Bugs.
I agree, but you asked desert. But if you asked canyon, I would have chose a canyon.
Really?
You said desert.
You would not choose the canyon.
I
know you wouldn't choose the canyon. Whatever, dude.
I might not choose a canyon. What is the most romantic place in New York City?
Go. Most romantic place in New York City is Dumbo.
Tell people what Dumbo is.
All right, Dumbo is it's a
location.
It's a location that stands for down under the Manhattan Bridge.
Yeah.
Overpass.
Overpass.
Yeah. This location actually, when I first discovered it, it was more romantic because nobody was there. Like now you see like all these parks and whatever.
It's basically Manhattan. There's Manhattan, the
Right.
island of Manhattan. Then there's Brooklyn, and then there's bridges that connect it.
Right.
And you're talking about the area below these
that
bridges.
has the perfect view of Manhattan.
Okay.
And also you can see the Statue
but
of
like
Liberty.
under bridges, that's kind of like shady, though, isn't it?
No, it's just under a bridge. Like it's not like you're going under the bridge.
Is there a
there's whole new world
specific
there.
location?
A whole new world.
Is there a specific location of these areas? It's pretty broad that you specifically
Okay,
like to go
Dumbo.
to.
Okay, there's everyone knows that location where it's right by the water.
There's
right,
like two. Yeah, there's.
It's right by the ice cream
right.
shop, and you can see the perfect night. Go at night, you can see the perfect view of Manhattan. What about yours?
Mine.
Oh, real quick, go.
All right, the new place I discovered, Riverside Park. Riverside Park between 96th Street and 70th Street. There is there's basically a paved roadway walkway. It's really romantic around sunset. You can see the water, you can see Jersey, and then there's like these.
Jersey.
I know Jersey's not
I don't know
romantic.
how Jersey can be romantic at
But
all.
it's like you can't go during the day. You got to go like
it's
at
always at
dusk,
night.
you know. And then there's like secret hidden restaurants. It's a brand new place.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. My question: what's your favorite borough of New York City? Go.
This one's kind of hard actually. Because you're talking about live, play. I like Brooklyn a lot. In fact, you know what? Brooklyn.
Why?
Why? Because to me, I don't like the hustle and bustle of New York. I don't like the concrete jungle
Manhattan.
of Manhattan.
Right.
All right? I absolutely hate it.
Right.
It smells like crap. I'll tell you this right now. I hate Manhattan. I hate it. There's some nice. Brooklyn to me has all the nice amenities that New York has. The shopping. I mean, and you know me. I like all the nice hipster,
Yeah.
hippie, yuppie stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you do.
I'm the biggest yuppie you'll ever meet. All right, and Brooklyn is, I don't like the hipster parts of Brooklyn, but I love like Park Slope, Carroll Gardens, the most yuppified parts of Brooklyn without the Manhattan traffic, without the honking, the construction. I hate Manhattan. So Brooklyn is where I would live and play because I think you got everything there.
All right. I choose Queens.
Okay.
Mainly because of the food.
Oh, yeah. You
Like,
yeah.
the best food's in Queens, best Chinese food's in Queens, so I choose Queens. Plus, like, I like it. I love Queens.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? A lot of people in New York think that Queens is like is like the suburbs. Seriously.
Yeah, it's actually 5 boroughs:
Yeah.
Queens, Brooklyn, Staten Island, which doesn't really count. But
They
really.
they think that Queens is like what we think of Staten
Bronx.
Island.
Yeah.
Because seriously, nobody goes to Staten Island.
Right.
But seriously, Queens is awesome.
Yeah, Queens is I would live in Queens.
The Queens is the bomb biscuit. Would you ever compete in a triathlon?
Go. Yeah, sure.
You would.
Yeah.
All right. You seriously,
Yeah. I would.
dude. You know you gotta like run 26 miles, bike like 100.
No, triathlon is not. That's a marathon. Triathlon, you run like 13 miles or something.
No. I mean Ironman.
Ironman?
Yeah.
I'd do it. I'd do it.
That's the 26
I would do
mile
it.
run. I wouldn't do that, and here's why. I
Because you're
can't
weak.
swim. No, I would do that.
But you're weak.
No, I would do triathlon. I just can't swim. I can swim,
What do
but
you mean
I
can't swim?
No, I hate swimming. I hate it.
Why do you hate swimming?
I hate the water. I hate swimming.
You hate the water
I have this weird fear of water.
of a lake?
I don't know. Lake is different.
You're
I
talking
hate
about
the ocean. I hate large bodies of water where I can't see the sides. I actually freak out. Lake, you can see all the
Would
sides.
you ever go on a cruise?
I wouldn't. I mean, maybe, but I hate the ocean. I hate large bodies of water, especially if I do triathlon. I do not want to be swimming like 2-4 miles in the ocean, like my worst nightmare.
Yeah, but the people there. Would you? I know you love New York. You love the U.S. Would you spend the rest of your life? Let's say you met someone. Would you spend the rest of your life in another country, such as like Canada or Australia? Go.
Yeah.
Yeah?
To me, I'm pretty cool. I don't need to be in New York.
Would you live in Taiwan?
I live
for the rest of your life.
I would live anywhere if it's the love of my life. I will go anywhere she wants to go. See, I could be a sap too, if she wants to go to Alaska. Because to me, I can live anywhere, dude. I'm
Really?
very.
You can live everywhere?
Dude.
I don't know,
This is
dude.
this. You might not think so because I'm very yuppified.
Yeah.
But I'm also easily adaptable and I can keep myself occupied. I mean,
What are you gonna do in Alaska?
I don't care. I'm with the love of my life. I don't care.
You can even buy a bear.
I would cook. I would farm. See, here's the thing. You
can't
think,
farm.
Dude, listen. That's an example, okay? I will do if I'm with the love of my life and she says, I'm not like that person where a lot of girls, honestly, they're like I have to live. A lot of guys too. I have to live somewhere. To me, I don't care. If she wants to be with me and I want to be with her, I'll go wherever you want to go. You want to go to Alaska? I'll go to Alaska. Because to me, I am the most adaptable person there
Dude,
is.
but Alaska, they don't have J. Crew.
But dude, bro, oh, you're killing me, bro. Listen, you're painting the picture that I love that stuff.
Yeah.
I'll wear Land's End. I'll wear a flannel shirt.
Okay, buddy.
Cause I'll be the most fashionable dude in Alaska.
You would.
Yeah,
you would.
dude. Yeah, buddy.
you would.
That's
All
a
right.
good question. I like that. All right.
60 seconds, what's your question?
October's coming up. That's Halloween.
Yes.
What in your life? What was your best Halloween costume?
Go. Aladdin.
You were Aladdin?
I was Aladdin.
Do you have a picture? You gotta find the
I
picture.
think I
and
have
show
a
it to them.
picture.
That's ridiculous.
I think I have a
How
picture.
old were you?
I was in college. I think I was 20, and I didn't. It was one of those, the little thing.
Wait, were you shirtless?
Shirtless.
Oh my gosh. You had the
I
thing.
had a good body.
You had the big pants.
I had the big
The
pants.
shoes too.
Yeah, I was no, I don't know.
Did you have a turban?
I had a turban.
With his little feather?
Little turban.
With a feather or whatever?
It wasn't a feather. It was like a
and a
whirly
fake
thing.
sword.
I didn't have a sword. He didn't have a sword most of the time.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like I was an RA, and my
Yeah.
co-RA made it for me. She made the costume for me. It was a little bitty thing. I really liked it.
Was she Jasmine?
She was Jasmine.
Oh! Did you have a crush on her?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
No, it was just a friendship thing.
man.
We're just friends. We're
You
just
friend
friends.
zone her, huh?
We're just friends. No, like
friend-zoned
we
her.
were just friends with each other. Like it wasn't.
No, you friend zone her because
it
she made you a costume.
So
She was
what?
in love with you.
I was not in love with
You're
her.
in denial.
No, she wasn't.
Denial ain't just a river in Africa.
So that was really good.
You know what mine was?
What?
I was 8 years old. Ninja Turtles costume.
Of course.
Yep.
What else?
It's the best costume.
What else?
It was amazing. In fact, I'm gonna be a Ninja Turtles this year. In fact, I'm gonna be a Ninja Turtle this year.
Where are you
down?
going?
Don't
in
worry about it.
Halloween.
Are you
that
down?
requires a costume. Where are we going for Halloween? that
Bro,
requires
you
a
don't
costume?
walk into work with a costume?
No.
Okay, will you be a Ninja Turtle with me?
I freaking be a Ninja Turtle with
You
you.
lost the magic, bro.
Oh my
You
God.
lost the magic.
Horrible.
You lost
Horrible.
the magic.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, watch our channel. Share our channel and all that good stuff. Again, Double Chen Show is going to come at you 3 times a week and hopefully daily. Who knows? Pretty soon.
But we're gonna have to do a Double Chen Show episode in October. I'll be dressed as Ninja Turtle, and you will be what?
Dude, I don't have anything.
Dude, you gotta be something, dude.
I'll think about it. Maybe Aladdin again.
You can be the monkey, Abu. All right, guys.
Thanks for watching. See ya.
Later.
You know who I'm going to be?
Who?
Easy costume. Bruce Lee.
That's dude.
Shirtless.
That is,
put some marks
that is
on my
a
face.
cop out, bro. That's a cop
it's
out.
not a cop out.
Dude, that was a cop out because you're Asian. You can't